everybody, welcome back to another video, and today let's talk about jerseys, but not in the way that I usually do. I said a little while back that I was going to do a video basically covering what I personally like in jerseys and what I look for when I'm doing my kit review videos, what stands out to me in a positive way. So I have a number of pictures here as well as some of the jerseys that I own. And I'm gonna kind of just talk about what I find appealing in jerseys and what will garner high points theoretically in my scoring system, although sometimes there will be a jersey that completely goes against the sorts of things I tend to like traditionally, and I'll still end up liking it a lot, so it's not foolproof. But first I want to start with when I was younger, the jersey that I saw that made me realize kind of like, oh, it's more than just something that the players wear. It can actually be like a cool statement piece or almost artistic in a sense or something like that. And that is thanks to a French rugby team. And at the time I knew absolutely nothing about rugby. I don't even know exactly how I ended up seeing the jersey, but I saw this Stade Francais jersey right here. This one in particular with there's the woman wearing the crown. I don't know if that's meant to be the Virgin Mary. Kinda looks like it might be her because I think that's a veil she's wearing there. But when I saw this, and again I can't remember the context that I saw it in, this was kind of like a eureka moment in my brain. And this right here is a lot of elements of what I kind of like. This right here, in my opinion, is one of the best sports jerseys ever made. This is an S+. I would wear this as a piece of clothing, not like I would walk out the house wearing this. So first of all, pink is my favorite color. I know, being a man, you might not hear a lot of us say that, but pink is my favorite color. I love the combination of pink and blue together. You will see that down the line. And when I used to be in my early 20s, 22, 23, 24, I was really into fashion. I did some jobs ushering at the Portland Fashion Awards a few times. I spent a lot of time and money on my appearance, on my clothes, and I would consistently pair pink and blue together. I had pink trousers I'd wear with a blue shirt and vice versa. And that was kind of around the time I saw this jersey. Maybe I saw this a little bit earlier. But I love the bold image in the center. It draws the eye, the color combinations. This is beautiful. And then a more recent Stade Francais design. This one is just pink and white. We no longer have the blue. And again, this is a Kappa kit. I've said it many times, Kappa is one of my favorite jersey designers for things like this. have the 3 lightning bolts there, which comes from their logo design. You have like a pixelized version of the Eiffel Tower. It's all in varying shades of pink with some white in there. Again, in my opinion, this right here is an S+ tier jersey. These two things, these two Stade Francais jerseys that I just showed you, in my opinion, these are damn near perfect. Now let's get into a sort of jersey that I am really fond of. If I see these combinations, you're pretty much always going to get a good grade from me. And you're going to notice the jerseys that I own pretty much all fall into this category. And that is creamy off-white. So this is my favorite Blazers jersey of all time. This is I believe this was the City jersey from a few years back. This is the Carmelo Anthony season. This is a Carmelo Anthony jersey. I've said before, Carmelo Anthony is my favorite player of all time. And it's really cool having him on my favorite team for a short stint there. But basically all of the jerseys that I own, that I like wear as fashion pieces, are all off-white. I don't wear this one as much anymore because I have a blood stain on it right there. You might see there I have a blood stain on it. I think I have another one on there as well. Yeah. I have another blood stain right there, so I don't wear this as much. But I love off-white jerseys, and I love different types, different implementations of off-white. So with this jersey, you see you have the off-white, and then you have this very bright red, which is contrasting with it, as well as the black. So this is a very high contrast off-white jersey. You have a very bright red, which contrasts with the dull, muted, creamy colors in the black. So I love this style. This is, like I said, my favorite Blazers jersey of all time right here. It's only a few seasons old, but I loved this one. So if you take cream off-white and you implement it in a high contrast situation, in my opinion, this is S tier. But what you can also do with an off-white is make the whole thing very muted. As in this Bayern Munich kit. This one's from last season. I believe this was last year's. Yes, it is. Because I got it with Kane on the back. But you see here, you have the creamy color, the off-white. But you have these flowers here in a very, also a muted color. It's very similar, a sort of dull, reddish, creamy brown. And then you have the red, but they're using a darker, less vibrant red. So the whole shirt is just kind of muted. Your Adidas stripes here, again, a very similar muted color. You have this stitching on the collar, it blends in. The logo on the back, it blends in. So as opposed to the Blazers jersey where it's all very high contrast, I also like cream jerseys when it's all very muted and it's very subtle. especially with the subtle pattern in the background. Now, I don't always like subtle patterns in the background, but when it's things like florals, when it's things like especially city maps on jerseys, like street maps and stuff, I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. And in my opinion, this is one of the best kits Bayern has had in years, so I had to pick it up when I saw it. So, as you can see, I'm a big sucker for cream. And I have one more implementation of it here. And this is the Mariners jersey from, I think, 2 years ago. Maybe last year. So this is the cream, but they went with a blue, obviously, because it's the Mariners. They have a blue and a yellow. Now the last two were red, and I think this lies somewhere kind of in the middle between high contrast and like muted, because the blue is very complementary to the cream. Like, it doesn't clash super hard, it kind of flows well, using the yellow as well. And I think cream jerseys such as this, such as the Bayern jersey, lend themselves a sort of retro or vintage vibe if you're using a throwback logo. So pairing this with a throwback wordmark logo for the Mariners, in my opinion, yeah, cream jerseys basically for me are always going to be an S tier. Always. And that's why I own so many of them, because with cream, I feel like I can wear it with jeans, I can wear it with whatever else, I can wear it casually. It's not going to clash with normal clothes. Now, I don't have this kit yet, I want to get it, but I want to show you this season's Bayern Munich away kit here. This is another implementation of the cream color that I really like. But here it's because it has the polo collar and it has the button. I'm a big fan of polo collars and buttons on kits. It seems like it's kind of coming back into fashion back in the 90s. And prior it was pretty popular, and then through the 2000s, 2010s, it really lost popularity. I'm sure the pendulum will swing back the other way eventually, but I really like the polo collar look on sports uniforms in general. But here we have sort of a clash, obviously, of both the bright and the dark red. I think personally I would like this a bit better if the red was all uniform. But just another implementation of the creamy off-white jersey that, for me, is pretty much an automatic S tier. Now let's get to white and gold. So good, I love white and gold combo. Here's an implementation I really liked from a couple seasons back. This is one of my favorite Dallas Mavericks jerseys of all time. The white with the gold, it looks a little bit yellow on the camera for some reason. It's a lot less yellow looking in real life. A lot of people really disliked this jersey for some reason when it came out. I love this jersey. But white and gold, in my opinion, is an unbeaten combo. Maybe starting to get a little bit overdone nowadays, but I really think it's a clean look. Obviously I have the Luka Doncic here. What I like about this one especially is the silver lettering. So you have gold, silver, and white, very metallic-y, very like ritzy looking. I might put up the picture here of Luka wearing it. That looks closer to what this looks like in person, not on the camera. Much more gold, but one of my favorite Dallas jerseys of all time right here. this is an S tier jersey in my opinion. White and gold often is. The Toronto Raptors were doing it for a little while, especially when Drake was doing their jerseys. Now, this is an example of using pink, my favorite color, to contrast with a darker, muted gray, and then also including the cherry blossom. So this is just an example, pretty much doing a baby pink with pretty much any other color. That's a neutral color, gray, white, black, tan, maybe not tan, but, I can't think off the top of my head what you call those colors, like a grayscale color, I guess. I think it's an amazing combination. This is the Washington Nationals cherry blossom jersey. And also, personally, I'm just a sucker for anything cherry blossom. My favorite J-League team is Chorizo Osaka, named after cherry blossoms. I nearly picked up this Washington Nationals hat at a Lids a couple months back, but they didn't have my size. Absolutely beautiful combination. I don't think the Washington Wizards pulled it off as well. Again here, blue and pink combination. Just to show you, outside of Stade Francais, another good example. This is the Miami Heat. This is the Vice Wave jersey, I think from 2019, maybe 2019, maybe 2021 is when Jimmy Butler was there, but I can't remember what year he got there now. But here you have the blue base instead of the pink base, like Stade Francais at the pink base of blue accent I'm just showing here. I also like the inverse. This is a beautiful jersey. I think that Miami kind of overdid on the Vice thing, and I really hated that two-tone that they did. In general, I don't like two-tone jerseys or jerseys with gradients. But if I'm looking for things that I do like, this right here, it's pretty simple. There's still some stylization to the lettering. You're using non-standard colors. It's not white. Well, there's a little bit of white as an accent, but it's not like you're using a standard blue, standard red, standard, those standard colors that we're used to sports teams using. You're using a pink, which most sports teams don't use pink. You have this nice, vibrant blue. Okay. Now, this is another example of a non-standard color, and it being used in a good way. This creamsicle jersey from the Buccaneers, and they have the old logo. One of the best sports logos of all time. But this jersey, even though it doesn't really have anything intricate going on, there's no pictures, there's no geometric patterns, but they're using non-standard colors. They're using complementary colors, the orange, the red, the white. And you have the Packers jersey behind it right there. You can see that. Obviously an iconic jersey, but which one is more interesting looking? It's the Buccaneers jersey, because the teams don't really wear orange. Teams certainly don't wear that shade of orange. So for me, non-standard colors are huge on that. I wish the Buccaneers played in this jersey full time. This jersey from the Vegas Golden Knights, I don't know why I threw this one in here. This is my favorite Vegas jersey. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get one. They sold out pretty much everywhere. I don't remember my reasoning for putting this in here. I mean, I like it. I like the red layered with the gray, gold, black. Oh, I remember why. Okay, so if you look at this jersey and you look at the way it's layered, it kind of looks like a knight wearing armor. So the gold kind of looks like chainmail, can see the gold at the bottom there, just above the black. And then the gold is also at the top, where the neckline is at. And then the red is like the tabard. So like the coat of arms, piece of cloth that the knight would throw over their armor. So there's the gray, which kind of looks like maybe that's the plate. The gold is the chainmail, which you can see poking out the top. And then the red, it looks like the tabard that the knights back in the day would throw over their armor. That's why I picked this one. Because I think there was a La Liga team this year. I think it was La Liga. And no, it was Bundesliga. It was a Bundesliga team. And they had a kit that the way that the pattern on the kit looked, the way the lines and everything were sewn, it looked like the robes that a Catholic priest would wear. And I did some research and I found out it's a historically very Catholic part of Germany. So I like it when teams do things like this. So here the Vegas Golden Knights, they obviously have a medieval knight motif. This looks like, if you kind of look at it, what's the term? Like an abstract sense. If you look at it as an abstract sense, it looks like a knight wearing a full set of armor with the tabard over it. That Bundesliga team, it looks like the robes, the vestments of a Catholic priest. I've seen, it's not super common, but teams from time to time will do little things like that. And whenever that clicks in my brain and I notice that, I always love it. And like I said, this is my favorite Vegas jersey of all time. So this is one of my favorite J-League kits. This is from last year. This is Segandosu. The Japanese soccer league legitimately has some of the best sports jerseys of all time, and this is going back over the course of their history. I could do a whole video just on their kits, like that's how good they are. But again, you have the pink and the blue. It's showing vertical stripes, which I usually do not like vertical stripes, but in this case I like the way the implementation of them, because the blue stripes are hiding the pattern that's present in the pink stripes, and I like that. You have the collar, you have the raised, like 3/4 collar. I like that collar design. My least favorite type of collar on shirts, funny enough, is just like a plain t-shirt style collar. The raised collars I like, the polo collars I love. You get weird with the collar. It goes up a point or two in my mind. A plain collar, it doesn't take away from the score, but it's not helping it either. But this, you know, the big white sponsor blocks detract a little bit, but this is an S tier jersey. Now another jersey here, so for me this is a great example of like a concept jersey, which is like the entire jersey exists to look like something else, and in this case it's a luchador mask. And I think this is the hardest thing to get right. But when teams do get it right, these are immediately something I love. Because you have this is from Club Tijuana, a Mexican soccer team. And you can see you have the luchador mask in the front. And you have the string ties on the neck. Which, if you don't know, those sorts of laces are on the back of a luchador mask. Then you have some other imagery in there as well. You see some dollar signs. You see somebody dribbling a basketball. You see it looks like some people dancing perhaps. There's a planet there perhaps because of imagery, but the entire point of the shirt is to look like something else, to invoke the imagery of another item, which I really like. Again, this is going to be hard to do. Most sports teams don't even attempt something like this, let alone get it right. something like this, amazing. We've done well. And finally, things like this. I think this is from one of the season's La Liga kits I looked at earlier this year. But you have, obviously, the red shirt here. But you see the little inlays there, and that is invoking the imagery associated with the geographical area. It's invoking the history of the city, the history of the football club, all of that, and things like that, where it's like subtle background, things like that. Again, I'll reference this Bayern shirt with the subtle floral pattern in the back. Things like that immediately for me are S tier. So those are the things I look for to give good scores to. Those are things that tickle my brain and make me like them. Now you notice things on this list, things I don't like. Very plain, basic jerseys that don't change year over year. Even if I understand why they do it because they're iconic, I just find it very, very, very boring. Montreal Canadiens, you know exactly what their jersey's going to look like going into the season every single year. There's nothing to get excited about. The New York Yankees, nothing to get excited about. The Los Angeles Lakers, often not much to get excited about. These big established brands, they don't change, and I find that very, very boring. You are very rarely gonna find me singing the praises of the main home and away jerseys of an Arsenal, a Real Madrid, Liverpool. You know, sometimes the third jerseys go hard for those clubs, but often the homes and aways are very safe, very boring. These more storied franchises. But the younger teams, like in North American sports, the expansion teams, the underdogs, the teams that don't win very much, in my experience, they experiment a little bit more. They tend to take more risks. Now, they'll sometimes miss and have hideous jerseys, but sometimes they hit and you get some classics. So, I know some people have been asking. So those are things I like, those are things I look for. So when I'm doing my kit reviews, I'm talking about jerseys, this, that, and the other, you know what my personal taste is, and that's not going to be everybody's taste, and that's fine. But that's just my opinion. Anyway guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Till next time guys.